let's look at cybersecurity. First off, read this disclaimer carefully. In this video, we will go to the cybersecurity theme in the zeitgeists, and specifically Palo Alto Networks. A very decent move from the 52-week low, relatively close to all-time highs, but we are heading into some serious resistance with this one. Okay. By the way, here are actually some, because I do design these themes, and here are some themes I'm looking at. But these are themes that are not yet investable, like shape, memory materials, fusion energy, smart adaptive clothes. Population growth management is also going to become a huge theme eventually. Hormone replacement therapy, especially for adults, women, menopause, men that's losing testosterone. This is also a very interesting field, but not yet investable. But basically, this is how I make these themes. Huge moves here, pretty decent moves. Let's jump into Palo Alto Networks. So this is a cybersecurity company. Here is their website. The most comprehensive cybersecurity portfolio on the planet. About us. Palo Alto Networks is shaping the cloud-centric future with technology that is transforming the way people and other organizations operate. Our mission is to be the cybersecurity partner of choice, protecting our digital way of life. We help address the world's greatest security challenges with continuous innovations that seize the latest breakthroughs in artificial intelligence, analytics, automation, and orchestration, all very strong themes. 70,000 customers, here's the revenue, 150 plus countries. So this is a very big player in cybersecurity. Yeah, next generation firewall, security subscriptions, panorama, so basically, yeah, full spectrum cybersecurity. Looking a bit at the seasonality for Palo Alto Networks, this is the percentage of months in which it's closed higher than it opened between these periods. You can see that July is one of the stronger months, but then we see that there is a bit of a weakening, especially heading into the winter-autumn times. For some reason, the early part of the year is extremely strong for Palo Alto Networks. Let's compare it against the Hack ETF. The cybersecurity ETF, that is. This shows us the percentage of months in which Palo Alto Network outperformed Hack. It certainly seems to outperform during September, but seriously underperform in August. But because there's such a huge difference between August and September, you have to be a little bit careful about this one. About reading too much into it, let's look at the QQQ, which is the Nasdaq ETF. Looking at outperformers or underperformance, you can see that, yeah, it's basically like 50-50 here when it comes to August and September. But there's a slight outperformance for Palo Alto in July, which is the current month. Okay, let's jump into the charts here. Okay, so this is the entire picture we get here with Palo Alto Networks weekly data points. If we do measure here from the low, way back here in 2013, June, all the way to this intra-week high, that's 525% gain. That's pretty decent, of course. We see that there's been, a major change here. We have a nice rounding bottom that was very profitable. This is a great example of a rounding bottom. Over 100% cup and handle, but here we are getting into a bit of an issue. This level here, right here where we are now, is a very persistent level. The bears do not allow the bulls to push through. They try, fail, and try, fail. And the pullbacks are a bit deep. Okay, 20% there. Okay, this one of course was deep because that was the crash. But like this intra-week here was like 13% minus, meaning, given that many stock indexes are kind of elevated, Palo Alto Network is a bit of a big boy in the stock market. Hence, given that we have a very solid resistance level here, it is possible for Palo Alto Network to rally through it and smash through, but it would take a lot of energy. if we do see a little bit more weakness here, there could be some short selling opportunity with a very solid resistance level and also some quite solid levels where you can put in your stops, to in case you're short, in case the stock rallies and just blows through your stop level. Because around here is like an obvious level where you wouldn't want to be short anymore. But yeah, so that's a potential setup. To be perfectly clear, long-term, looking multiple years into the future, even decades, I am bullish on cybersecurity. But it's quite clear, I mean, you can see it yourself, this is a very solid resistance level. And given that it hasn't been able to break through yet, even though the Nasdaq and other indexes have been rallying like crazy, it's a bit of a spoiled opportunity. So here is the hack ETF. It actually has managed to break out. It doesn't have that resistance level. Hence, you could certainly make the case that Palo Alto network has shown it's kind of blew an opportunity. Okay, looking at the RSI, 61 here, you could draw like a descending trend line here on the RSI, say, make the case that there is some bearish divergence. There is, some weakness here in the price action from this high, but not like that meaningful. The accumulation distribution line, the current level, it is actually a bit higher than we've seen before, and that is a feather in the hat of the bulls. But it is not that dramatically higher. The correlation with S&P 500 is 78%, so that's pretty strong, meaning they do, to a very large extent, move together. Let's just for good measure look at the correlation with the hack, which is the Cybersecurity ETF. Like that. 93% positive correlation. Let's also do the QQQ. Now we are getting like the long-term correlation, 71%. Okay, let's get back here to my SPY. Like that. Let's go to the daily data points. Loading the moving averages. So we did get almost approaching some overbought levels here, and then the bulls just got spooked. I mean, this looks like a very interesting short setup. It just does. Here you have some bearish candlestick, you have engulfing bearish, and you have doji star bearish. The bulls had an opportunity, but they blew it. It was a very strong rally in the market. Every stock was just getting bid up like crazy. Yeah. The correlation with S&P 500 here on the daily data points is 91%, which is pretty darn strong. So basically, that's my take here. I think that there could be some short selling opportunity. If you look at the QQQ, the Nasdaq ETF, it had this very crazy rally, and I think that we are due for some more meaningful pullback. This candlestick here shows a bit of an exhaustion. It seems like the futures are going to rally a bit today, but yeah. Let's go back here to Palo Alto network a bit. Like that. Let's look at some other metrics. Okay. You can see that the price book is 32. That's very, 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 very high. You can see here that, let's go to the analyzed price targets. Here by the way, is some performance. 31% for the quarter. That's decent. And this is a big company, market cap at $24 billion US. Okay, so as far as the analyzed price target, this is the average price target for the analysts. So the stock is currently trading for $245.33. The price target is 5% above the current level, but it's not like far above the current level. Hence, yeah. It would be more bullish if we had like a bit of a bigger percent above the current level. And it's important to bear in mind that many analysts have a bias towards the upside as well, because many of their clients are in the mutual fund business and other businesses, other fund managers that simply cannot be short. They just must buy due to rules. Looking at Saks.com, they have a number 3 hold, a D value score, D growth, and C momentum. The industry rank is quite strong, top 26% security, no dividend. Okay. Hence, to sum up my take here on Palo Alto Networks, even though cybersecurity is a strong industry, we did see clearly that the hack ETF has been outperforming the Palo Alto Networks. The hack has broken out to new all-time high. Palo Alto Networks is just struggling against these clear resistance levels. Given that there is good reason to think that we are to do a correction in the market, just a normal correction after a massive monster rally, and the strong correlation Palo Alto Network has with the indexes, it makes sense for us to see some pullback, which could be a short selling opportunity, with a clear stop level above these levels here. Of course, if Palo Alto Network were to break through these levels here, especially this level right here, and close at those levels, that would be, a very bullish sign. So yeah. Okay, let's look at some of the other indexes. Well, other markets, I guess. Let's look at the S&P 500, the futures. Okay, let's load the daily data points. So far today, the bulls are back in business. The bulls, if they do break out above this level here, that would be a bullish sign for the S&P, sure. The market is a bit upbeat now due to some positive news about a vaccine, but something that is very important to be aware of is that there are many types of viruses out there. I mean, we're not talking about computer viruses in this case, but the other kind of virus that's been a huge topic. And given that influenza has been with us humans for over 6,000 years, and every single year it's a major problem, it costs us a lot of money in sick leave, and we are not even remotely close to a cure, the vaccines have modest efficiency because the vaccines only handles some of the most common strains of influenza. What is the probability of a miracle cure for the C virus? I think there's a low probability. Just is. As far as many of the companies that claim to be working to have made tremendous progress, I think that's also a place where you could see some nice short selling opportunities, because some of them have just gone up a lot, like a whole lot, on nothing really clear. We saw some. I mean, as a matter of fact, one of the representatives of the Security Exchange Commissions, she said that there were three types of scams that were very common in the stock market, as far as companies goes, and those were the 3 C's. You have cryptocurrencies, you then had the C virus, and then you had cannabis. So a lot of companies that aren't really skilled when it comes to these 3 things, they claim to be working on it in order to boost their stock price, and they make all kinds of news, even though under the hood, they're not really equipped to do something groundbreaking. I mean, they just use it for marketing purposes. And when it comes to the C virus, there's multiple of these companies that are speaking a lot of hot air. They have gone up on claims, and they could be really good short selling opportunities. Okay. Whatever you do, of course, you want to let the trend, don't fight the trend, and may the trend be with you.